In this class, we'll focus on how after finding a problem, this is the problem you have find out after making a study of literature survey. You find out these are the gaps are available, and this is the things surrounding us. These are life problems, or maybe the problem which can be have a solutions over there. Once you have done that problem, you fix it for a some sort of solution. That solutions will be varies from the person to person. The solutions can be differ from the technologies how we are going to use it. The solutions we can't fix it only this is the solution. But after finding that solution, somebody has to evaluate it, or yourself has to evaluate that, and you has to be evaluate and validate whether it is up to the mark or whether the solution is correct or not. So once you have done the solutions, what we'll do for the solutions is I will share a four different projects for the top three performers. So among that, today we'll discuss one or two uh, the projects, and tomorrow we'll discuss another two. So based on that, the top three can be selected any one of the project, which can be they can we can use as a base for their actual academic projects. Okay. So now coming to the evaluation and validation. So here, what we propose to evaluate. Evaluation can be done. If you see, evaluations can be done over to. mm, uh, I'll share that once. I will just talk about this case study later. Now, see the evaluation methodology. What we has to be evaluate over here. So we had to evaluate whatever the contribution, whether your contribution is in the form of an algorithm or an architecture or a mathematical equation, or if our contribution is like you define some procedure, or if you have given a new process, new way, new methodology, or new technologies you are going to be incorporated in your process, whatever that will be comes under contribution. Why we picked what we picked has you had to be mentioned clearly why you have chosen only this Python to implement this one, why you have chosen only this Java, why you have taken this software, or why you have chosen this tool, or why you have chosen only this programming language, or why you have applied on only this data set, why you have chosen this only this hospital or this orphan organization. That clearly, whatever you have picked to solve your problem, you have to mention clearly for what reasons you have, why and what you have, the purpose you have picked to contribute yourself. Now you can use some simulators or simulations. Simulator is directly you can give your solution whatever to this software. Simulator, different simulators are there, like for computer networks, NS2, or for if you have any testing tools is there. So Selenium is testing tool. Automatically you can give that application whatever your contribution as an input, it's generated. Or simulation. Simulation is nothing but like we are going to do some process over there. You can use some of the to perform the simulations, some routing packets, how the packets are moving, or how this performance will be measured. You can use write some small code in that particular tool. You can run it, and you can observe that simulation. So there is a customization will be there in the simulation, where a simulator directly giving input generate that output. So these simulators and simulations can be used to check with how much it is validate. Okay. So thoroughness and completeness is also be required. Repeatable and ease of evaluation methodologies should be required. Thoroughness is nothing but you have to be critically followed. If you consider a data set of having 1,000 records and 10 fields, the 10 fields and 1,000 records will be make sure any noises data is available, any missing fields are available. That thoroughness of that particular data set is required. Completeness is nothing but only just partial. You are applying some input and you're getting, it will not be valid one. So please make sure about the thoroughness and completeness. So this repeatable and easy means like you have applied in one data set on some sort of records, 100 records, 10 fields. Next, another repeat iteration, you have applied 500 records and 10 fields. Again, second, third iteration, 1,000 records and 10 fields. Like this, some process, whatever you are testing, you have to make sure that the repeatable is there so that the methodology is can be evaluated in a faster way. Now, validation. Now, after you evaluate, you have to validate whether it is reaching the best result compared with the existing approaches or there, or it is giving some invalid results. Existing only give the better results compared with means it is an invalid one. Validation is give some at least 0.01 difference of the in the performance or in efficiency or in the process of the new approach what you have taken should be more at least 0.01%, then it comes under validation. So don't be go for hypothesis, means we guess the results like maybe if I executed this one it takes 2 seconds, maybe it takes the performance is this much, maybe the cost of this contribution is this much. Don't be pre-guess the results what you are. So analyze the results very carefully. Deeper analysis is the very much required. The limitation you have to clearly mention in the validation. Only for this system, maybe 4 GB RAM, 80 GB hard disk, or this much of motherboard processor speed is there, it will be evaluated. Beyond to the low level of that, it will not be validate. That clearly people has to mention. It is better for you to state the limitations than having the reader reviewer discover those. So no, don't give the chance to the reader or reviewer that okay, for this configuration only it is suitable. For this is not suitable. You are developed for Windows operating system, but it's not suitable for Mac OS or Linux operating system. It suits for only desktop application, but not suits for mobile applications. Like clearly mention that limitations. So already told you that limitation is not a drawback; it's a boundary of that particular work. Now, what are the different types of validations are available? Now, before going to that one, ask yourself that what are you trying to validate? Whether you want to validate the entire project or the logic only or the methodology what you have applied or the process what you have applied. So different modes of validations is there. Among that one is empirical. Empirical is a data where we are proving that like in the max we are show that prove, hence it is prove, like making some mathematical way. If you are doing that, it will comes under empirical. If you come for the factual means we are getting some actual facts and you are proving this is the best approach or this is the best contribution for you. Analysis is normal, and simulations, as I already told you, you are considering a model or maybe you are preparing some methodology to simulate your work is correct or not. Because to validate your performance of your system, you are running in the backend one small command, so that the command will check whether how much time has to execute it. Like in the algorithms we have time complexity, space complexity will be there, right? So based on that, you are going to making that, and or else you can analyze the behavior. Now how it is behaving when I giving the 100 records for that system, how it is behaving when I'm giving the 500 records, whether it is system has hang or if the system has struck, or how it is behaving, any change of that one. Like that also comes under simulation. Experimental, like laboratory work whatever we are doing. And prior work will be like existing things you are going to be working there in the prior work, and based on that prior work you are trying for validate. Now here prior works indicates you are implementing the existing work as well as you are implementing your work. Both you are going to be comparing, because when you are studying the papers, that entire source code or some other will not be available. So you people has to be make sure the existing also be implemented and propose also implemented. That type of validation comes under prior work. Okay. Next, coming for once the evaluation and validation is done, report. Report is nothing but preparing the documentation what you want to convey. That prepare of the document already we have shared different templates to you. That is how the SLR will be prepared. What's the section for a paper? The sections are like title, abstract, keywords, introduction, the prior art, the methodology, architecture, or maybe the algorithm, or maybe results, conclusion, feature work, references. All such type of things will be there in the similar fashion. Here also for a report, we had to prepare. And don't let your expectations guide you what to report. Don't let you expectations. Means you have expected that you got the efficiency as 94.5, but you got only the efficiency as 70. But don't tell such type of expectations should be like this. So ineffectiveness, bounds, limited benefits, etc., are valuable contribution too. So that clearly had to mention like we have worked out like this, but it's not worked properly. We have changed this idea like this, changed that one. That mention properly the sequence of things you are journey while you are contributing or where we are giving the solution. You please mention clearly how your journey will be there, starting from your day one to the when you're preparing the report, how your journey will be there in that particular project to complete, or in that particular paper has to complete, or in that particular contribution you have to complete. So revisit your original claims and have the corresponding evaluation and validation. It's very important, because if you're not revisiting, if you see with your eyes, it's look like as good. But when you're seeing and one after the other, one time, two times, three times, four times, definitely at one some of part of time, it will find out some of the errors or correctness should be required. So use effective means of reporting, leave less work for readers. So mention what you want to be convey, not like goes on telling over there. So this is little bit of for evaluation and validation.